Hey, what's going on YouTube family, guys? Future Tomorrow here, back with another video, and this is more of a PSA slash the process that I think you may want to go through if you receive a pair of Nike IDs, regardless of them being Huaraches, Air Maxes, so on and so forth, that you're not really happy with, and because there's some type of flaw in it, and we're going to go through really quickly what that is and the process I'm going through and I'm using with Nike to try to get this resolved with a resolution that I'm happy with. Ultimately, I would like for them to remake my Huaraches properly, because I know that they have done this before. At least they have created Huaraches before, more GRs that did not have the material flaws that I'm going to show you on this shoe. So what are the flaws, Future Tomorrow? What are you going on about? Guys, on this pair of Nike Air Huaraches, look at the edges of the neoprene. Ouch. There is white showing underneath the neoprene. It breaks the symmetry of what I designed. This, in my opinion, is 100% not acceptable. This immediately reminds me of two things. The first thing is when the counterfeiters in China started making fake Huaraches, they used cheaper materials, exactly like what Nike is doing. They used a process where they were using white neoprene underneath, the red or whatever the color may have been. So it obviously is easier to do that. I think it's a cheaper process, or it helps them make the shoe a lot faster. If you have noticed, Nike IDs are now delivered to you much more quickly. I personally would rather Nike take the time that they used to take before to actually make the Huarache or Air Max or whatever the ID is properly, and then basically get it to me so that it can meet my expectations and it can match exactly what I designed. So the second problem is, guys, white edges on the panels or different blocks of color or materials on any shoe, regardless of being Nike or a Huarache. It just looks cheap to me at the end of the day. It does not kind of bring through that quality that you can kind of expect on a shoe that especially has all one tone or has different materials that meet a different material. Again, guys, there should be a symmetry between the different panels of the shoe and the color blocking overall. There should not be white lines disturbing that symmetry from kind of coming across and being consistent in what you design or the overall theme of the shoe. So that's the problem. What did I do about it? I called up Nike. You obviously first get to a CSR, customer service representative. You then explain to them what the problem is. In my case, what I just explained to you guys. The CSR then tells you, well, there's two options. You can either return the shoe, the Nike ID, for a refund, or I can pass you along to a supervisor. You can explain to the supervisor the problem, and then there's a process and a step, some steps that they'll walk you through. So she transfers me to a supervisor, and it takes a while. I'll tell you why in a second. I finally get to speak to the supervisor, and he basically, says, hey, I hear you have a problem with a pair of Nike Air Huarache IDs that you received. Can you just tell me what your concerns are? So I explained to him the problem, and after that, which helps him to verify that he got it right from the CSR. Yeah, I actually went into Nike Air Huarache. Nike ID. I pulled up a pair of Huaraches. I started customizing them, and I did not see any white lines along the edges. So that is a misrepresentation of the product. What I'm going to need you to do is I'm going to email you after this phone call. I need you to respond to that email with photos and a brief little summary of what we discussed and what the problem is as you see it in your final product that you receive from Nike. That is going to be passed along to our dedicated Nike ID team. Apparently they have this. Did not notice because I've never had an issue before with Nike IDs. And from there, it takes them about 2 to 3 business days to actually respond to your concern and letting you know what a possible resolution could be. The resolution I would like to hear, guys, is that they can actually make this over and they can deliver a pair of Nike IDs that does not have, white edges on the bottom or along the edges of the neoprene. Again, guys, this is the point of why this was here. Nike has done this before. For those of you familiar with the Nike Air Huarache in general, Nike has produced hundreds upon hundreds of Nike Air Huaraches over the years that do not have this material flaw in the actual shoe. So they can definitely do this. I don't know why they're taking this shortcut. I think a part of the reason is that, again, you can get your Nike Air Huarache or any other shoe for that matter that is ID'd a lot faster than you used to before. Nike is taking shortcuts, but any brand or company should know that shortcuts that you take in production should not affect the end result of the customer product, or else the customers are going to complain, make videos, or start to chatter on social media and say, hey, don't use this service. This is the end result, the end product, and I'm pretty unhappy with it. I know that they can do better. And shortcuts should not lead to this kind of final product being delivered to you at the end of the day. So guys, while you can take a marker, break out your paints and fix this, those of you who follow me on Instagram and have been on the channel for a while know that yes, I can customize to a certain level. Guys, that is not what I should be doing to a brand new pair of shoes that I just received. That's not what you should be doing. What you should be doing is calling the brand and voicing your concerns so that they can know that there's a problem. If you don't talk to brands, guys, through their surveys, through different methods of feedback, through social media, through their website, by contacting them on the phone, they don't know that there's a problem, and they think that everything is honky-dory, business as usual. They can keep doing what they're doing, but at the end of the day, no, there is a problem. I'm receiving shoes that are not representative of what's being designed on the actual site. Again, the supervisor confirmed, as I saw when I was designing it, there was no white edges showing on the neoprene. And second of all, they can't pivot on whatever it is they're doing wrong and make the necessary changes. Paint and markers, guys, are temporary solutions that, again, does not fix a long-term problem. Voicing our concerns tells the company that, hey, this is not cool, you need to stop doing it, you need to go back to the quality that we expected from your brand and what your brand stands for. That's actually a long-term solution. Guys, if you have any comments down below, if you have any comments, drop them down below is what I meant to say, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. I wanted to make this video, ahead of getting a response from Nike, because basically, in case you're thinking of making a Nike Air Huarache ID, I want you to know that from the UK to the US, no matter where you live in the world, you will receive a pair of Nike Air Huaraches, guys, with white edges along the neoprene. And for most of us, especially if you like your shoes to look quality, if you don't like receiving your shoes with what appears to be flaws on them, you're going to want to really consider whether you should go ahead and pull the trigger on that Huarache ID or whatever the ID is, or whether you should basically just wait until Nike acknowledges the problem and actually fixes it. Whether you find that out through their website or through a video that someone makes, I'm not sure, but we should kind of wait to see if they're going to fix the problem before giving them more cash to keep doing things wrong. They need to fix this. So I will also leave a link to my IG down below in the description, so in case you guys want to see what I'm doing over there, please feel free to follow me there. Like, comment, and subscribe here. Always, like hearing from you guys, like starting dialogues with you guys, so that would be great. Again, don't forget to thumbs up that video. But guys, this is your boy Future Tomorrow, and thanks so much for watching this vid. I'm out. Peace.